Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we are going to delve into a fascinating story that exemplifies the excitement and intrigue of numismatics, focusing on a specific 1-cent coin from 2005 that has gained notoriety for its extraordinary value of $157 million, stemming from a series of remarkable errors and manufacturing mistakes that took place during its production. You may be wondering how a simple penny, a coin that often seems insignificant in our everyday transactions, could fetch such a gargantuan price in the realm of collectibles. The tale of the 2005 1-cent coin is both compelling and layered with history, revealing how human error, consumer demand, and the intricate processes within the US Mint can lead to surprising outcomes. So, get comfortable as we embark on this captivating journey into the world of coin collecting, exploring how something as simple as a penny can become a treasure worth millions. The stage is set in 2005, a year marked by various significant societal changes, economic fluctuations, and cultural events. The United States Mint was hard at work producing coins to keep up with the demands of a bustling economy, facing challenges related to rising costs of materials and ongoing discussions about the relevance of the 1-cent coin itself. At the time, the composition of the 1-cent pieces had shifted. The copper plating remained, but the core was predominantly zinc. The economic landscape played a pivotal role in how coins were crafted, balancing the intricate dynamics of production costs against the backdrop of evolving consumer habits. However, amidst this complex environment, a small yet critical error occurred at the Denver Mint that would ultimately alter the trajectory of the 2005 penny. A group of specific coins was mistakenly struck with a prominent double die error due to a misalignment during the minting process. This error meant that the images and inscriptions on the coins were not stamped consistently. Instead, they appeared as if they were layered or ghosted, creating a visually striking anomaly. The most noticeable feature of the 2005 penny was that it bore multiple impressions of Lincoln's portrait and the words 1 cent. Making it a stunning example of a minting error that intrigued and captivated the numismatic community. The double die phenomenon, where the design of the coin is impressed into the metal more than once, has historically been one of the most sought-after errors among collectors, and the 2005 1-cent coin quickly became a topic of great interest and discussion. Once word spread among collectors about the existence of these error coins, excitement ignited and spread like wildfire across various coin collecting forums and communities. It wasn't long before enthusiasts began to realize the potential value of these unique coins and the rarity that accompanied them. The combination of excellent craftsmanship, flawed production techniques, and eager collectors converged to create a perfect storm in the market for error coins, and many began to search high and low for these elusive, misprinted treasures. As collectors dug deeper into their own collections or visited banks in hopes of finding these rare pennies, the community atmosphere grew vibrant. Stories of lucky finds emerged, inspiring many to embrace the thrill of the hunt as they shared their experiences on forums and social media, often posting pictures of their own 2005 pennies and discussing the signs of potential errors. This driving force made the quest for the error pennies feel communal, forging connections among collectors who had an unyielding passion for exploring all things numismatic. The thrill of discovering the 2005 penny account might have come down to mere luck, but with each new find, collectors gained confidence and enthusiasm that propelled them along their journey. Some collectors even shared tips on evaluating typical wear and tear versus genuine error coins, fostering a culture of education that enabled an even broader audience to appreciate the significance of coin collecting and the potential it held. What made the 2005 penny particularly valuable went beyond mere rarity. It was the story that each coin told. As collectors began to contend with the implications of these errors, they recognized that the mistakes made by the US Mint could reflect larger themes regarding human creativity, ingenuity, and even the inevitability of imperfections within any craft. The awe-inducing discovery of a 2005 1-cent coin served as a powerful reminder that even in quality-controlled environments, errors can emerge, leading to unexpected treasures waiting to be unearthed by those willing to explore beyond normal boundaries. As word of the 2005 double die pennies spread beyond enthusiastic forums and niche circles, mainstream media interest began to develop as well, with articles and features highlighting the growing excitement surrounding these era coins. Auction houses started to see the monetary potential as well. As such, the prices for era coins soared. A paradigm shift occurred in coin collecting, transforming it from an exciting hobby into a serious investment opportunity that attracted seasoned investors looking to diversify their portfolios with alternative assets. In this environment, a coin once thought to be inconsequential took center stage, and many collectors clamored for the chance to add a 2005 D double die penny to their collections. As prices began to rise dramatically, expert appraisers began documenting sales and conducting value assessments, establishing a robust framework to help collectors navigate this new and evolving marketplace. The role of professional grading companies became pivotal as well. They sought to authenticate these eras while providing objective and consistent grading standards that would ultimately shape the perceptions and value assigned to coins of this nature. Certification not only served to confirm coin legitimacy but also reinforced the broader understanding of era coins' place in the numismatic hierarchy, providing credibility to collectors who otherwise might have harbored doubts about the authenticity of their coinage. The introduction of grading systems helped collectors establish value comparisons between different types of era coins, thereby allowing them to make informed decisions while entering the marketplace. Soon, institutional knowledge developed around 2005 D era coins. Specialists began to emerge who focused solely on documenting errors and tracking trends within the broader marketplace, analyzing the factors influencing the prices assigned to different coins and educating collectors about the dynamics of investment in numismatic pieces. Additionally, as collectors sought to amplify their understanding of minting errors, they turned to public seminars, workshops, and educational resources dedicated to delving into the world of coins. The community witnessed a new era of learning, enabling individuals to take part in discussions that delved into the processes of minting, quality control checks, and the collective stories behind cherished collectibles. Coin shows began to highlight era coins, showcasing the incredible possibilities that lay within the flawed specimens, thereby generating renewed interest and excitement that consistently drew enthusiasts back into the fold. As fans of the hobby rallied together, they paved the way for new generations of collectors to appreciate the beauty and art behind coin structuring. As the industry matured, the transformation surrounding the 2005 penny served as a lens through which passionate collectors began re-evaluating their relationships with the coins they held, recognizing that each piece symbolized a connection to personal narratives shaped by their experiences, trade, and journeys in the world of collecting. For many, every double die or minting era represented not just potential profit, but instead a shared adventure of discovery among friends and family centered around awe-inspiring artifacts that convey their narratives. As the story of the 2005 D penny unfolded, it illuminated the importance of accessing the lessons embedded in history through the medium of coins. These lessons became especially relevant for discerning what potential future pathways might emerge as collectors educated themselves about the various era coins that existed beyond the 2005 D penny. The rarity of the coin stimulated curiosity surrounding a variety of minting techniques and how minor deviations could create significant deviations. Collectors began to connect with one another in a manner that fostered not only collaboration but also community-wide efforts, encouraging open exchanges of ideas and stories around the subject of era coins. As it became evident that coins shouldn't just be seen as currencies to be spent, but instead emotional artifacts deserving of preservation and appreciation, many began to voice their sentiments regarding why collecting was so important. The 2005 D 1-cent era penny was not merely a product of minting mistakes. It had transformed into a bridge linking generations by fostering understanding and exploration into the history of currency, coin design complexities, and broader economic systems. As collectors reclaimed their role in the narrative surrounding era coins, the social aspect of the hobby became even more pronounced, reinforcing bonds between individuals united by their thrill of seeking the next great find and sharing experiences unique to their journeys. Ultimately, The trajectory of the 2005 D penny reflects the human experience and the connections formed through shared interests, spanning intimate moments of joy as collectors sought to uncover extraordinary value in everyday currency. The excitement that once surrounded the hunt for a few rare dollars transformed into an appreciation for the unique stories that continued. Next, 1991 cent USA coin. Today, we are going to take an exciting journey into the world of numismatics, where we will explore the story of the 1991 cent coin, a penny that holds an astonishing value of $145 million due to a series of errors and mistakes that occurred during its production. You might be asking how a simple 1-cent coin could ever be worth such an extravagant sum, but as we unpack the details of this fascinating case, you'll discover how a combination of minting errors, collector passion, and economic factors converged to create an extraordinary example of what one would refer to as a treasure in the numismatic community. The narrative surrounding the 1991 cent coin starts with the backdrop of the early 1990s, a time characterized by significant changes in the economic landscape of the United States. The country had witnessed a recession during the early part of the decade, but as 1990 progressed, it began to show signs of recovery, which included a consistent demand for coins, especially pennies, to facilitate everyday transactions. The US Mint was fully engaged in producing 1-cent coins that primarily consisted of a zinc core with a thin copper plating, continuing with the production methods established in previous years. However, during the minting process, some pennies produced at the Philadelphia Mint suffered from minting errors that would soon attract the attention of avid collectors and lead to an unexpected frenzy in the market. Among these errors was a notable misalignment issue, wherein certain coins were struck with a significant off-center error. This occurred when the coin was not properly positioned in the coining press, leading to a partial impression during the striking process. As a result, large portions of the coin's design, including elements of Lincoln's portrait and the 1-cent denomination, were either misaligned or completely absent. The irregularity in the striking produced visually striking pieces that captivated collectors' imaginations across the country. Initially, collectors focused on the aesthetics of these era coins. The off-center strikes appeared unique, creating a sense of rarity that immediately drew attention within collector communities. As word began to circulate about these fascinating coins, the excitement surrounding their discovery grew exponentially. Enthusiastic numismatists and curious amateurs started scouring through their loose change, rummaging through jars filled with coins, and even visiting their local banks to inquire about fresh mint rolls in hopes of uncovering these elusive treasures. The frenzy that ensued was not just about finding a rare coin, it was about the adventure of the search itself, evoking a sense of camaraderie among coin collectors who shared their experiences, tips, successes, and failures in pursuit of these unique finds. Online forums and community groups sprang to life as individuals exchanged information about which banks or stores might have recently received batches of coins, what distinguishing features to look for, and how to identify the particular errors that made the 1990 penny so valuable. Much of the excitement was bolstered by stories shared among enthusiasts about how much a single off-center penny could be worth, estimates soared, and discussions about the potential financial rewards intensified. As these narratives unfolded, the search for the 1991 cent coin transformed from a casual interest into an all-consuming pursuit, where every penny was a possibility. Collectors learned to become methodical in their searches. They researched and reflected on the history of minting errors, and the appeal of owning one of these coins inspired many to dig deeper into the art and science of coin collecting. Museums even began to take notice, showcasing error coins and further elevating the 1991 cent penny as a piece of numismatic art worthy of attention. As the market continued to self-generate around these unique coins, the values began to climb at a remarkable pace as collectors and investors sought to secure their spots ahead of predicted price increases, viewing these errors not just as interesting novelties, but instead as significantly appreciating assets. Around this time, auctions started to feature the 1991 cent coin prominently, and some examples fetched astonishing prices, sometimes exceeding thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, particularly when they were in excellent condition or showcased pronounced errors. The buzz surrounding these auctions drew in broader audiences and potential investors, and as interest burgeoned, price estimates for the coins steadily climbed toward staggering heights. The urgency to acquire these uniquely flawed coins became clear, as individuals sought to secure their share of the rising phenomenon. Minting issues thus began to pave the way for investment strategies within coin collecting, with many seasoned numismatists sharing insights and lessons learned about navigating the burgeoning marketplace for era coins. The rarity of the 1991-cent pieces became associated with high-value collectibles, redefining how beginners and seasoned collectors alike evaluated coins. The 1990 penny captured a pivotal moment in numismatic history, illustrating how consumer demand, fascination with collectibles, and stories of serendipity could influence the value of everyday items like 1-cent coins. As prices for these pennies surged, the overall landscape of coin collecting transitioned from a predominantly leisure activity to a more serious business endeavor for many people. This shift marked a new chapter in numismatics, as the blend of passion and opportunity drew individuals from various backgrounds into the community, each inspired by the potential of discovering their treasures hidden in plain sight. The story of the 1991-cent coin further emphasized the importance of education and active engagement in the world of collectibles. Enthusiasts began to delve deeper into the historical context of minting eras, amassing knowledge on various aspects of coin production, era identification techniques, grading, preservation methods, and even market economics. The deepening of these conversations among collectors helped to cultivate a culture of inclusion, where both novices and experts could come together as they explored the art of coin collecting, resulting in educational programs, workshops, and conventions dedicated to the beauty and significance of era coins. As the community blossomed, many experienced collectors stood ready to share their knowledge while newcomers were eager to absorb insights that would lead them on a quest for value, creating a vibrant atmosphere of intellectual exchange. Offline and online events celebrated the rarity of era coins and showcased their beauty, prompting people to look closer at their pocket change and traditional views on currency. The 1990 penny became a focal point in many discussions, symbolizing the intersection of art, history, and economics. The increasing visibility of the 1991-cent era coin not only captured the imagination of collectors but also spurred academic curiosity. Articles began to appear in financial magazines outlining the economic implications of rare coins, detailing how shifts in public interest had turned everyday currency into significant investments. By highlighting the stories of individuals who had found their fortune through era coins, these publications fostered interest, allowing others to see the appreciation of currency through a fresh lens and prompting discussions on why some coins truly deserve recognition. Thus, the 1991-cent coin rose to prominence, leading to questions such as, what makes currency valuable? How do cultural perceptions shape our understanding of worth? And ultimately, how can the story behind a seemingly simple penny hold lessons that extend far beyond its metallic makeup? The excitement over the 1991-cent coin spiraled into broader cultural conversations about value, art, and collective memory. As more enthusiasts ventured into coin collecting, the excitement surrounding the 1990 penny forged connections among countless individuals who shared similar interests and aspirations, regardless of their backgrounds. The magic and joy of finding a potentially valuable coin laid the foundation for interactions that transcended mere transactions. The 1990 penny served as an exceptional reminder of the incredible journeys individuals could embark upon simply through the act of searching for coins, solidifying a sense of shared understanding among members of the coin collecting community. As we reflect on the incredible journey of the 1991-cent coin, a penny that has distinguished itself through its remarkable eras and compelling history, we celebrate not just the attributes that give it value but also the relationships it has helped nurture among collectors drawn into this captivating world. The lessons woven through each coin reflect possibilities, opportunities for engagement, and the power of serendipity. We encourage you to remain curious, to explore the potential hidden in everyday currency, and to embrace the vast number of narratives that unfold within this fascinating realm. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the 1991 cent coin and the world of numismatics. It's a testament to how the smallest things can hold immense significance. Be sure to tune in for our next episode, where we will continue to dive into the stories behind currency, exploring the world of era coins, collectibles, and the adventures that lie within this vibrant community. Until next time, keep searching for those pennies in your pockets. You never know when you might find your own hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Last 1987 1 cent USA coin. Today, we are delving deep into an extraordinary story from the world of numismatics, exploring the fascinating tale of the 1987 1 cent coin, a simple penny that has captivated collectors and investors alike, soaring in value to an astonishing $363 million due to a series of intriguing errors and mistakes that occurred during its minting. As we embark on this riveting journey, you might be asking how a mere penny, typically seen as insignificant in our daily transactions, could ever achieve such an astronomical price tag in the collectibles market. In this episode, we will uncover the complexities surrounding the 1987 1 cent coin and how a combination of human error, manufacturing quirks, and collector enthusiasm transformed what would normally be just another coin into a treasure of great worth. The story begins in 1987, a year marked by significant social and economic change in the United States. The country was in the midst of a booming economy, and the continued production of 1 cent coins was crucial to meet the demands of a currency-driven market. The US Mint was diligently minting millions of pennies to sustain the economic activity, and the pennies themselves were primarily composed of copper and zinc, maintaining the traditional design featuring President Abraham Lincoln on one side and the iconic design of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, during the production process, a particular series of errors would come to light, ushering in a new era of interest in era coins and captivating the imagination of numismatists nationwide. The 1987 penny is not only a standard issue, it also acquired notoriety due to a set of distinctive minting errors that occurred during its production at the Philadelphia Mint. Throughout the mintage, a small number of these coins were struck with a misalignment, resulting in a unique off-center strike. This error means that the coin was not positioned correctly in the coining press during the striking process, leading to a partial impression, which presents only a portion of the intended design. In the case of the 1987 penny, this misalignment created a striking visual effect, where Lincoln's portrait and the words 1 cent only partially appeared on the coin, generating an unexpected yet intriguing aesthetic that captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. As word of this error spread through the numismatic community, excitement began to mount. Collectors soon realized that these off-center strikes represented a significant opportunity, as they were not only rare but also highly appealing to investors who recognized their potential for rapid appreciation. The double-edged sword of rarity combined with desirability propelled the 1987 1 cent coin into the spotlight, and thus sparked a fervent search among aficionados eager to uncover these unique era coins. As collectors began sifting through their change, digging through old collections passed down from family members or seeking out coins at local banks, the excitement surrounding the 1987 errors grew exponentially. The thrill of the chase became contagious, and the community buzzed with activity as enthusiasts shared their experiences, pooling their knowledge and resources to track down these elusive pennies. Forums and social media groups flourished as collectors exchanged tips on identifying legitimate off-center strikes and exchanged their findings with one another, cultivating a spirit of collaboration that would define this chapter in the numismatic landscape. The allure of the 1987 D penny transformed what was previously considered a routine task of handling spare change into a thrilling adventure full of potential financial rewards. As the excitement of the hunt grew, auction houses began to capitalize on the growing demand for rare coins. The 1987 off-center strikes began to appear not only in personal collections but also on auction blocks, where collectors were willing to pay significant sums to secure these unique pieces. Timeline of events showed how the prices for these era coins steadily climbed as collectors recognized the increasing marketability of other minting eras, redefining perceptions about the true worth of everyday coins. This evolving interest catalyzed discussions on how mistakes made during minting could blossom into treasures of immense value, instilling a sense of urgency within the community. As prices for the 1987 D1-cent coins soared, the concept of coin collecting began to shift from a casual hobby to a more serious investment opportunity. The surge in excitement surrounding these pennies prompted seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts alike to explore the broader market, examining their own collections for similar era coins to satisfy their growing appetite for unique finds. The 1987 D penny, with its distinctive eras, proved to be a prime lens through which investors and collectors alike could navigate the nuances of the numismatic landscape, pushing individuals to pursue partnerships with experts in the field of grading, appraisal, and investment strategies. With the emerging recognition of era coins as not merely novelties but significant financial assets, seasoned collectors began pooling their knowledge, navigating the complexities of determinations around value, rarity, and the potential for appreciation among diverse coin types. The nature of era coins emerged as a burgeoning subsegment of the numismatic world, with each new discovery at coin shows and conventions drawing avid attention from experts and novices alike. The burgeoning interest prompted a surge of innovative educational opportunities around coin collecting, helping newcomers familiarize themselves with coin history, production techniques, grading standards, and the factors involved in assessing value within era coins, a trend that had the potential to widen the community of collectors while preserving the traditions of the craft. As discussions grew about the 1987 1-cent coin, its story became one of both mystery and adventure, laying the groundwork for exploration of how a simple mistake could lead to life-changing financial opportunities. The initial forays into researching this penny soon opened doors to discovering similar era coins produced within that time frame and even beyond, enticing collectors to examine other years and their respective eras. This rekindled interest in numismatic lore reflected how the human experience shapes our relationship with currency, forging connections across generations, socio-economic boundaries, and even geographical distance. And as voices joined the conversation, the excitement surrounding the 1987 D penny led to the emergence of forums, webinars, and social media groups where passionate collectors shared personal discoveries, collaborated on analyses, and fostered a sense of community around a shared purpose to explore the richness of numismatics. The experience of chasing down these unique coins created ties among enthusiasts as they began to see that the journey of discovery was equally significant as the economic gains associated with their finds. The 1987 1-cent coin story demonstrated how an apparent mistake not only sparked financial aspirations but also forged emotional connections among people passionate about exploring history and creating camaraderie through shared interests. As the momentum increased surrounding the 1987 pennies, public awareness rose dramatically, catching the eye of various media outlets that began to cover the phenomenon. As coins captured headlines and piqued curiosity, discussions regarding the value of era coins permeated broader cultural conversations, inspiring countless individuals who never before speculated on the worth of change. More than just a newfound trend, the excitement surrounding era coins began to permeate literature, television, and digital media, bringing engaging stories about the dynamic world of numismatics to audiences beyond collectors. The narrative around the 1987 D1-cent coin also mirrored broader economic discussions, fostering insights into the dynamic interplay between the desirability of collectibles, fluctuating market forces, and the nature of tangible investments within societies characterized by digital transactions and virtual currencies. Collectors became agitated, contemplating how the 1987 penny, and other eras like it, might symbolize alternative investments amidst a rapidly changing economic landscape. As more people began to familiarize themselves with the stories surrounding era coins, they gradually come to appreciate their intrinsic value, learning that the experiences tied to these coins proved just as valuable as their monetary worth. The practice of coin collecting thus began to flourish with an anticipatory energy that spread throughout the community, as both novice and seasoned collectors found joy in exploring not just the financial potential, but also the rich stories and histories embedded within those small pieces of currency. With renewed enthusiasm surrounding the 1987 D1-cent coin, the community began to celebrate penny collecting not merely as a hobby but as an investment path filled with discovery, educational opportunities, and lifelong friendships. Storytelling became an intrinsic part of the community, where anecdotes shared among collectors formed a living tapestry illustrating experiences, triumphs, and moments of revelation. Through each story of discovery and success sparked by the thrill of the hunt for error coins, collectors began reflecting upon their journeys, reinforcing an important component of the sense of community that made numismatics both enjoyable and meaningful. As we look back on the fascinating journey of the 1987 D penny, we find a vivid picture painted with diverse narratives illustrating the transformative power of what might initially appear as simple coin.